Over 38 youth arrested by police at the Jesus Winner Ministry Church have been forgiven by Bishop Edward Mwai. The bishop said that the youth were apprehended after arriving at the church with their phones, which they intended to use to mobilize additional support for the planned occupation protesting President William Ruto's 20 million Kenyan shillings donation to the church. Mwai announced that he had asked the police to release the youth even as police presence remains high at the Roysambu-based church after the government deployed a contingent of the General Service Unit JSC officers.
Mimi najua ni akina nani walikuwa wanawatumia. Nilijua hata kuna wengine walikuwa wametumwa na wote hata wengine wako hapa, lakini mimi nimewasamehe. Lakini watu watakuja kujua kuna Mungu kwa hii madhabahu. Yule Mungu aliyokea hapa akasimamisha maombi Mombasa. Huyo Mungu, they know there is God in heaven.
The Law Society of Kenya and a host of members of parliament have condemned the arrest of the Kenyan youth whom they claim were exercising their constitutional right as enshrined in Article 37. Senator John Metho and Laikipia MP Keto Ruguru have castigated the Bishop Mwai and accused him of betraying Kenyans by siding with the Kenya Kwanza policies.
Ukifika kwa gate, askari wamejaa, askari 40. Na wewe unaenda huko kutafuta Mungu, ukifika kwa gate, askari 40. Kila mtu hata akikosea, kila mtu anataka kutoroka, akimbilia mahali ya kukimbilia, anakimbilia kanisani. Sasa ukikimbilia kanisani unaweka pingu.
Regime inadharau kanisa ni hii. Na mchungaji mnaona anaenda kupewa hiyo pesa, unaona milioni 20. Ni yule ambaye amekubali ile mafuta fake ya kuenda kuambiwa ongea vile serikali inataka. Serikali ni ya Mungu na kila serikali iko juu ya mabega yake.
But President William Ruto labeled those concerned over his handouts as, quote, people who don't believe in God, and maintained that he will continue to, quote, supporting God's work. There, President William Ruto, who was speaking in the AIC Fellowship Annex in Eldoret, vowed to contribute double the donation of the congregants towards the construction of the church.
Musitishwe na wale ambao wako kwa mitandao ati wanajaribu kutuambia kwamba hatuwezi kujenga kanisa la Mungu. Tutajenga kanisa la Mungu Kenya hii. Sijasema wapende wasipende, sijasema hivi. Na kwa sababu hiyo nasikia mlifanya mchango last week. Sasa wewe utachukua hiyo mchango ya last week ufanye times 2, unipatie invoice nitakutumia. We are going to build God's church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against Kenya. And those who are against the word of God in Kenya, those who are against the building of sanctuaries in Kenya, supporting the word of God in Kenya, they will fail and they will not succeed because they will not overcome us.
Pearl Newsbeat.
President William Ruto and the ODM party leader Raila Odinga are expected to conduct a joint tour of Nairobi this week as they showcase the newly formed enhanced broad-based working framework. Speaking after signing the picture of the Kenya International Convention Center on Friday, the head of state announced that they will begin by inspecting projects in the city, including the Nairobi River Reclamation Initiative. The joint framework commits both parties to the full implementation of the National Dialogue Committee report, fighting corruption, creating employment opportunities for the youth, addressing conflict of interest, auditing of the national debt, and ensuring compensation for victims of protests are among key issues they have pledged to tackle together. ODM party leader Raila Odinga described the agreement with President Ruto as a truly national and inclusive, pledging to end grandstanding in order to spur growth. However, the president emphasized that the agreement between Kenya Kwanza and the ODM is not about power sharing or the 2027 elections.
Pearl Newsbeat.
And Interior and National Administration Cabinet Secretary Murkomen has convened a crucial meeting with leaders from the border of Transmara Kisii over the ongoing skirmishes over cattle. This as the death toll in the skirmishes has risen to 3, with hostilities said to be getting out of hand. Murkomen has announced that the crucial meeting will be aimed to resolving the impasse.
Mambo ya usalama kati ya Transmara na Kisii tunazingatia na tumetuma tumetuma askari wa kutosha, na nitakutana na viongozi wa Kisii, wale wa Bomet, wale wa pale Narok.
Pearl Newsbeat.
And a host of Northeastern leaders wants the DCI and the National Police Service to conduct thorough investigations and provide answers in the appearance of Wajir County's Dela Ward member of the County Assembly Yusuf Ahmed, who reunited with his family after 7 months. Wajir County Governor Ahmed Abdullahi confirmed Ahmed Hussein is being hospitalized for checks after he was found abandoned. The MCA was reportedly abducted in September 2024.
Honorable Yusuf is admitted. Is going through a serious medical checkup. We hope and pray that he will recover. But I want to ask the leadership of the Republic of Kenya, in this modern day Kenya, whether it is criminal elements, whether it is state agencies, whether it is other groups, abductions in whatever form or illegal confinement has no place in our country.
There is no harm in processing the individual in line with the requirements of the law and produce them in court and follow the laid down procedure. And even if further investigative process are required for suspicions that are requiring such, then the law ought to have been followed rather than putting families through tormentation by picking people in thuggery, setting and keeping them away from their families for 6 months.
Pearl Newsbeat.
And further field, the U.S. Secret Service agents shot an armed man near the White House during the night, an agency spokesperson has said, while President Donald Trump was spending the weekend at his Mar-a-Lago residence in Florida. The man had been hospitalized and his condition was unknown. The spokesperson said in a statement that did not specify whether the White House or Trump may have been the internet target. No injuries to secret agents were reported, according to the statement posted by spokesperson Anthony Guilemi on social media platform X. The agents had been warned by local police of a suicidal man traveling to Washington from Indiana, and around midnight found his parked vehicle near the 17th and F streets, the statement said. They then spotted an individual nearby who matched the description they had been given.
Pearl Radio, the home of fresh and classic hits.